it's the best album by. It's just so good. And like, yeah, some might say we will find a brighter day.
The unplugged version of it's great.
Yeah.
Where Liam is just sitting in the rafters.
Yeah. If I had to roll with it, was like their cigarettes and alcohol, kind of.
Which there's a really funny one with Roll With It because Noel thinks that song is crap.
It is, but in a good way, like the right kind of crap.
So this is after they've broken up, and Noel was talking about how about the Battle of Britpop when they released Country House and Roll With It on the same day with Blur and them. He's like, the thing about those songs is they're both shit.
What?
And then,
oh man, I love Country House.
And then 2 days later, Noel or Liam was at Glastonbury and played Roll With It for the first time. He's like, of course it's shit. Neither of us have ever played it. So of course Liam immediately played it, and at the end goes, I heard someone say this song was shit. I don't think that was shit.
Oh man. That's so funny. Those guys just, God, they professionally hate each other.
Yes.
Welcome back to Collected Works. I'm keeping all that in.
All right.
Good, yeah. So we are talking about the albums of Oasis. We just played you two from What's the Story, Morning Glory.
And now we're on to Be Here Now.
Okay.
Which is an interesting record to discuss.
We have to be here now, and expletive warning.
Yeah.
Just in advance on this one.
So
I think I already blew that a few minutes ago, but...
Yeah, no, but a particular track I have to reference absolutely out loud, unfortunately, because it is my pick for the album.
Well, I'm gonna...
And Nightmare know this, but...
I'm just gonna throw this out there real quick. This is Oasis at the top of their careers.
Yes.
The most successful they're ever gonna be.
This is one of the most, at the time, was like one of the most anticipated albums that had ever come out.
And evidently, well, I'll let you guys talk about it, but I had a couple other factoids about it. I'm going to shout out real quick that I know about this album first from the Todd in the Shadows video, Train Records on this one. I'm going to link it below because it's quite the enjoyable video as well.
Yeah, it's pretty
but
good.
yeah, I'm sorry. Go on, guys.
I've always been a defender of this record.
Oh,
there are issues with this record. It's too long.
Yeah.
They're on coke.
They're
very on coke. And they've admitted this very much. I think it's the most fun Oasis record.
Fun?
I think it's just like, we're going to throw everything at the walls and see what sticks. There are a couple of awful tracks on this record. Magic Pie is by far the worst song Oasis has ever written. It's so bad. But then you get something like Be Here Now, like the actual song.
Yeah.
Which is just, I'm throwing my fist in the air and I'm going to say what I want. And it's going to be a rock song and you're going to like it.
It tries a lot of different things.
Yeah.
That are great. Like a lot of the intros are memorable, like to the songs itself.
Yep.
Like the lead in, they're experimenting with a lot of different things. Noel is coked out of his mind.
He's evidently the producer.
As well as, I absolutely believe it.
This was a record where Noel Gallagher had so many songs. We'll talk about the other songs in a minute.
Yeah.
That no one in the studio was like, well, these guys have sold millions of records. We can't tell them what to do.
Yeah, exactly.
And sometimes you need
sauce.
someone to say no.
And they did not. They had no dad for that. They're just like, listen here, just, hey, maybe don't do 6 layers of guitar.
Maybe All Around the World doesn't need the 50th Hey Jude.
Yeah, maybe All Around the World could be a little shorter. Actually, I need to look at some of the length for some of these.
The full album is over 70 minutes long. I know that much. I think it's like 72 minutes.
It's crazy. One of the tracks is 9 minutes long.
Well, All Around the World is 9 minutes long, and then has a reprise.
What they needed was Todd Rundgren, who famously stopped Angie Partridge from putting 100 layers on the XTC album Skylarking. They needed that kind of energy. Maybe it would have just...
They needed somebody to at least just say to them, like, hey, stop. Like, you know what? Maybe sit down, like, read a book, do something else. He's like, no, I've got a million ideas. The first track, first track is 7 minutes long. 7 minutes and 43 seconds. Magic Pie is 7:20. All Around the World is 9:20. It's Getting Better is 7. It's the longest album by
by a large margin.
Without looking at that, I think there's only 2 songs under 3 minutes, and one is a reprise of all.
One is a reprise of a 9.5 minute long song.
It's just which was not that long ago. Like, it was a song ago. They gave you 7 minutes of a break, and then they hit you with it again.
So what are you picking as a song you like on this record?
Dude, okay, I will say, here's the thing, and I'll explain exactly why it's this song. Do you know what I mean? Because
it's the one song where it works.
It sets up the idea of how good the album is going to be. It's like, hey, we're experimenting with a little bit of stuff. We're using kind of the same structures, though, as like our big openers and hits, stuff like that. Like tracks 1, 6, and 7 on just about all of them, you know?
Yep.
I'm a big fan of track 1. You'll see that in a bit. But, like, it just works as, like, a mission statement song where it's just kind of like, here's how the rest of the album should be looking.
Yes. The video for it's awesome, too.
Yeah. And even though it's like super long, it just doesn't feel all that long like some of the other ones can be, like all around the world.
It's the one where all the elements they put into that record of being this big epic, it actually comes together on this song.
Yes. It's like you feel like, and the music, and what I like about it is the gradually getting louder. Like it just kind of like warms up and it starts. Like all my favorite intro tracks are the ones that are just like, wake up, it's time to listen to some music.
The other two songs, and I'm gonna go with "Be Here Now" as mine. I just love that it's just a no-nonsense rock song on that record. Of course, "Stand By Me" is the other big one. It's probably too long, and there is certainly worth gonna throw all of the orchestras in on this. But it's such a great melody. The lyrics are fine for what they are. Like Liam's voice is great in it. It's just super catchy. Again, it's probably a little too long, but like you can't complain about the rest of it. But "Be Here Now" is just it's the one pure. This is a straight Oasis rock song.
Yeah, it just goes. It cuts right through. You can hear both of their vocals on it too, pretty clearly too. Because I usually go for the Noel melody or the harmony or whatever. But it's also like this is kind of like Baby's first prog album. Like if you want to understand what it's like to listen to pop prog, you just like put this one on. The songs are that long. They're like that.
Now, didn't you mention you have a favorite lyric from the song you picked?
Do you know what I mean? I don't know if I did.
I thought you were talking about that line, "All your dreams are made, yada yada." Is that not that?
No, that's from What's the Story of Morning Glory. Because that
is from the song
Morning Glory. The whole start with this album. They just did way too much. Like "All your dreams are made when you're chained to a mirror and a razor blade." It's just like we're talking about this album again. That's how good it was. Like this is bad. I don't like listening to this album. It sounds like Oasis being Oasis, but like it's like an NPC.
It is their most megalomaniac.
It's an NPC album. It's absolutely like the "How do you do, fellow Oasis? I am Noel Gallagher, and I am writing a song."
I don't know. I know I said I had nothing to say, and then I've been talking a lot about this one, but I like maybe not all 9 minutes of "All Around the World."
"All Around the World's a fun song.
It gets stuck in my head.
Yeah, I've heard you singing it several times in the house.
The first 6 minutes, it's like they're very clearly trying to do their "Hey Jude."
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And it's like it works for like the first 6 minutes, and then it keeps going. It's like, okay, I didn't need the fourth different rendition of like like their fourth different lyrics of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, guys, wrap it up here a little bit.
And then I'm gonna have way less to say, like nothing at all in the next few albums. But I forgot when we were doing What's the Story, Morning Glory. But it's kind of relevant to this. Like they have so many Beatles lyrics references in this album in particular.
Yes.
Just like it's like they're trying to set a record. There's an artist I like a lot called Eric Hutchinson, and he did an album called High School, which is about his high school experience in like the late 90s. And he references What's the Story, Morning Glory in one of the songs on that one. So
nice.
Full circle or something like that. But yeah, what songs we hearing real quick?
Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what I mean? And "Be Here Now."